back to Gregory Boxing. Jason Brandt's there alongside Wayne Gregory. We're talking about the 4 elements that'll help you with your boxing and preparing for boxing. These are very important. We went over the breathing, visualization, and mental rehearsal / mental rehearsal. Goal setting is what we're going to talk about right now, and then we'll get to self-talk. Wayne, if you want to go ahead with goal setting and start talking about it. My one question is, I think I know what goal setting means, but I probably don't. If you can just explain it.
Sure. So what happens is everybody understands the term, and you see like self-help videos, and you see all this stuff like, oh, setting goals, you know. But like, what ends up happening is that like it just becomes this blanket general term, right? But in here, like in the boxing gym, like you start by you have to set these little goals, and it starts from the moment that you walk in here. It's like, all right, and we prepare you for it. It's like, hey, the 30-second bell is the work harder bell, right? So you have all these little goals that you need to hit. These certain like these little places that you have to be. Like you start on a daily basis. So you could get crazy with it. You could be like, when you wake up, you're like, oh, my goal is to go to the gym today. Well, that should be a no-brainer. You should be in the gym. But then once you get here, right, everything should be goal-oriented, right? Like I'm going to, whatever the coach has you working on, it's like, all right, man, like I'm going to put forth a huge effort in the last 30 seconds of every round. I'm going to put together a good round. What ends up happening is like on a daily basis, right? Like I have these little goals, and you always have to be honest with yourself, completely honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest with anybody else but yourself, and you just keep it to yourself. Like I didn't do this, right? I could have done more. I could have done this. But what ends up happening is like you'll feel good about yourself. Your confidence will build, right? I have these little baby goals. And then as I set them and I achieve them on a daily basis, what ends up happening is it sets the stage for me to achieve the big goal, right? The big goal, if we're talking about fighters, is to win the fight. All right, so if my big goal is to win the fight, that starts off with like, all right, my first goal is to get day 1 of training in the books. So I come in here, my fight camp starts, I'm jumping rope, and it's like, all right, then you're a boxer, so you're competitive, right? And then since the fight isn't in 6 to 8 weeks, the goal is to use these little goals, right, to be competitive with yourself, right, to start paying attention to your performance, right? Just don't like come into the gym, put it on coast, and go through the motions.
As a trainer, do you want to give them goals, or for the most part, they giving them themselves? They're being honest with themselves, and they're giving themselves achievable goals.
Right. I mean, if you're a coach and you're giving people goals and they're achieving them, then that's great. Yeah. You know what I mean? But from the perspective of the individual that's trying to implement these 4 elements into their training, like they'll make your job easier as well, right? If on a daily basis they're hitting these goals, it's just a matter of like being honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Like I could have done this better. You know what I mean? And then when you do, you're like, all right, man, like I could have pushed it more. And then you'd be surprised in all of these, like whether your coach addresses it in this manner, right? 9 times out of 10, most coaches are really doing this for you. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, breathing. Right? Hey, man, you got to breathe. You're holding your breath. That's why you're bending over and you can't complete the round. Yeah. You're not breathing. Visualization, mental rehearsal. They're showing you like, hey, I want you to do it like this. You know what I mean? And then you're doing it. So you're performing visualization and mental rehearsal. Yeah. Goal setting. Hey, man, there's 10 seconds left. Pick it up. Steal the round. Do whatever you can. Right? I just gave you a goal. You're achieving it. And then when we get to self-talk, I'll go over that again. But like, so coaches are probably doing this for you, but it's going to make your job easier, right? And their job easier if you have a very conscious effort to it, right? And you're like, all right, man, like I'm going to hit all of these. Like it's a part of my training. So for me personally, like in anything that I do, this is me, right? So I taught myself how to play golf. I used all of these, right? So in anything that I do, any exercise, whatever, like where these apply, right? And separately, right, they're successful, but it's when you put all 4 of them together.
And it's with anything, school, work,
totally,
the gym.
Totally, exactly. But that's how I would basically explain goal setting in a boxing gym. Right, so so if you go back and watch it, so military, right, their goal is, you'll hear them explain it like, my goal is just to get through breakfast, right, and have breakfast, right, so they have these little goals, right, it's the same thing in a boxing gym. Once I get to the gym, my goal is to jump rope, but not just to jump rope to go through the motions, like, now I want to add a new skill,
I'm going to get better at this.
Exactly. And all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, you're being honest with yourself. Not only are you hitting all those goals, but you are getting better.
Yeah, well, that's what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, we good?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot.